Think back to when you were a child, a teenager, what you did and who you hung out with, and having no idea how life becomes a circle. I think back to when I was 13, 14 years of age, and I was racing on a yacht called Aquarius with an orthopedic surgeon called Larry Leave. And he brought his son as crew, and the three of us, Matt, Laurie, and I, used to race the boat. And Matt used to get seasick. And we had many years together, Matt and I, in our childhood, on the boat, sailing. I would visit them at their home. And then Matthew ended up moving to Taiwan, and I went on with my life. And decades have passed. And then just this weekend, we reconnected. Laurie has left us. But Laurie's left us with incredible memories, a history, a connection. So as Matt and I were talking about our childhood, we got talking about the present. And we were talking about our careers and where our lives have gone and how little we could imagine where we are today. Today, Matt is someone who's founded an e-bike company, Squirrel e-bikes. And I'll put the link in the description to Matt's company. But he was also talking about not only do they build an e-bike, but they also plant a tree. And each time they sell a bike, they plant a tree for that person who's purchased the bike. But I want to challenge Matt to think about something broader. When we plant one tree, it takes, like this pine tree, takes 30 to 40 years to get to this size. The tree takes 15 plus years. But when we plant a bamboo ends up reaching its maturity in 5 to 7 years. And so in our conversation about the environment and about impact and how we continue to impact our society through what we do, when you're talking about planting a tree, I started thinking to my science and the scientists that I work with in this very garden that it takes 15 years for the tree to come to maturity. And in that period, it produces X amount of oxygen. And at some point, somebody comes along and harvests the tree. And now you have to restart the entire cycle. But in this garden, it takes us between 3 to 5 years to get this bamboo to this size. 5 to 7 years to get it to full maturity. And a bamboo grove ends up producing 30% more oxygen than a tree does. And I go into my garden and I cut certain bamboo culms so I can use it in my garden. I can cut out of a 7-year-old culm, I can cut 50% of the tall stalks, the culms, and use them in different ways, and it has no negative impact on my bamboo culms. My culms continue to grow, my bamboo continues to produce, it continues to keep sequestering oxygen. When that tree is gone, there's no longer CO2 sequestration, there's no longer oxygen production. But half of that bamboo, yes, there continues to be CO2 sequestration and 30% more oxygen. So let us actually rethink some of our practice. We spend a lot of time creating monoculture. We create these forests, loblolly pines, or various firs, Douglas firs. We build these multiple forests of one species. One fire, it's gone. One disease is impacted. But when we plant bamboo, we're planting grass. And if we plant a variety of different bamboos, as I've done in this garden, 14, 15 different species, and each plant in maturity is absorbing 1.5 tons of CO2 from the atmosphere per plant, we have a bigger impact. How do we maximize that impact in business? When Laurie ended up bringing Matt and I together as kids, he knew he was making an impact, but he had no idea how much of an impact we can make by sharing, by learning, by looking at opportunity, by working together. It doesn't matter we haven't been together for over 40 years, but there's always a way we can be inspired by each other. And as he pedals bikes and sends e-bikes out with people having the experience of being on a bike, He can do good and he continues to do good, not just keeping people fit, not just giving people an adventure, giving people freedom and mobility. He's finding a way to also impact the environment. And this is how we can grow our communities, no matter where we are. It does not matter that Matt is in South Africa and I am in the Caribbean, in the Dominican Republic. It is that unification, utilizing technology, utilizing experience, utilizing opportunities. So, Matt, we're going to rethink planting trees to planting bamboos. And we're going to find a way to continue to make our legacy grow. Our legacy from the seas to the mountains. We are not limited. And your dad will be proud of the young men we became because we continue to carry the baton of what is possible. And I challenge each one of you, think back to who was in your life and how you can reconnect and possibly do some fun, amazing things together.